guys, once again welcome back in my channel, The Learning Destination. I'm your host Avinash and this is episode number 02 of my ongoing series HashiCorp Consul. In episode 01 where I have already covered about in-depth introductions about the console, so the viewers who is visiting first time can refer to my episode number 01 and will learn about the console in-depth introductions. So in episode 02 basically I'm going to cover the complete architecture overview, and in next 10 to 12 minutes we are going to see that how the Consul architecture works, what is the data plane, what is the control plane, how the service mesh playing important role inside the console. So all these parameters we are going to check now in next 10 to 12 minutes. So let's start. Okay guys, so before I move towards to give you overview about the Consul architectures, and before that I would like to proceed with some plain concept inside the networking. So those belongs to network background, they know that what is the plane inside the networking, but for those who doesn't know, don't worry guys, I am just giving you explanations about the plane concept in very easy term. So there are two types of plane inside the networking, and we refer as a control plane and data plane. So control plane basically it controls the data packet flow. It means that the data sending from one place to another. Likewise, we say we are creating a routing table. It means that we are setting up some rules. So this IP address can communicate to only this IP address. This is one of the example of the creating table. Okay, now what does it mean, the data plane? The data plane or the forwarding plane, remember guys, forwarding plane is also called the data plane, or data plane is also called the forwarding plane. Both are the same, so don't get confused. The data plane or the forwarding plane actually forwards the packets. It means that the control plane controls the data packets, and data plane it actually forwarding that data packets. Okay, now let me give you one example. Think like that you are running a car onto the road. Now if you are stopping at the signal, the stop lights, it means that there is some instructions like when the light becomes red you need to stop, when it becomes green you need to move ahead, right? So the stop lights it acts as a control plane, and your car on the road it acts like the data plane, because your car is taking to you from one place to another. So now I understand that your concept about the networking plane is pretty much clear now. So let's move to the next slide. So now on my screen you can see that the service mesh, and guys, service mesh plays a very important role inside the console. So in order to understand the console functionality and its overview architecture, we must understand about the service mesh. So I have already pointed out some of the major features of the service mesh, and let's read it about. A service mesh is a dedicated layer that provides secure service-to-service communications for on-prem cloud or the multi-cloud infrastructure. It is often used with microservices architecture pattern. It typically consists of control plane and data plane. So guys, this is the point to be noted, like service mesh consists of two plane, control plane and data plane. And now you understand that why before starting it I have already explained about the control plane and data plane in my previous slide. Okay, so it will be easy for you to understand when I refer the term control plane and the data plane. So the control plane maintains a central registry that keeps track of all services and their respective IP address. This is called service discovery, right? So whatever the services is upstream or the downstream, so basically the control plane keeps the record of all these upstream and downstream services, and that is the functionality we called service discovery. And if you have already watched my episode number 0 of the console, you can come to know about it that there is a term which I referred called service discovery, right? So the service register with the control plane will be able to share with other members of the service mesh how to communicate with the applications and enforces rule for who can communicate with each other. Okay, so now what does it mean? The control plane, basically, let's suppose that we have 5 microservices. We are registering inside the control plane. Okay, so now and then we are binding the rules over there, so this service can communicate to that particular service. Okay, so that I'm going to explain you later in this chapter only. Okay, so it means that there is two things. One, the services is listed inside the control plane registry that we called as a service discovery, and secondly, it is bound with the some rules where we are defining that the service 1 can communicate to service B or service C can communicate to service D, right? The control plane is responsible for securing the mesh, facilitating service discovery, health checking, policy enforcement, and other similar operations concerned. The data plane handles communications between services. As I mentioned, like the service 1 communicate with the service 2, and where, as I explained in the previous slide, like the data forwarding, the data plane is responsible to forward the data, right? The same term I am referring here, the data plane handles communications between services. Okay, so if you understand quite well the service ways, then the explanations of Consul is quite easy. Now it can be defined in one word. Consul is the control plane of the service mesh. So these are some prerequisites that we must need to understand it before proceeding to overview architecture of the Consul. And now I am taking you on the Consul overview architectures. Okay, so as on my screen, the complete explanation is listed here. You can understand that there is a graph, and through this graph I am trying to explain the roles of the Consul client and the Consul server. So let's first go through the Consul server explanation. So basically, Consul is a distributed system designed to run a cluster of the nodes. So I mean, we can divide Consul in two parts. One we call as a Consul server, which we refer as a data center, and secondly is the Consul agent. Okay, so now I am going to explain you about the Consul server. So Consul is a distributed system designed to run on a cluster of the node. It could be physical server, cloud instance, virtual machine, or container. Okay, so whatever the system you are running the Consul binaries, right, that may be either form of the physical server, that maybe you are creating any virtual instance on the hypervisor, or if any instance running under the any cloud like AWS cloud, GCP, Ali cloud, or the Azure cloud, right? Then the group of the nodes Consul run on is called data center. So there is some minimum requirement to form the complete this Consul cluster or Consul data centers, right? So whenever we talk about the clusters, we involve few nodes to achieve the high availability, right? The same case is happening here, that in order to form the Consul data centers, we must have some set of nodes. It may be the range I have already given. It may be 3 to 5 servers, right? So once you have 3 to 5 servers, and when you install the Consul's binaries over there, right, it acts as a like the data centers. It acts as a like the your Consul cluster, and the same you can call as a Consul data centers, right? So this is what I am referring here. Then second part is come Consul agent. Okay, so Consul agent is nothing. It is like the single binary that you need to install on every node where the service is running. Okay, so it is like a node running Consul binary is referred as a Consul agent, right? So agent is nothing. It is just set of one binary that you need to install on the particular node where the services are running. Okay, then it is a lightweight process and runs on every node where services are running, as I mentioned. Okay, so now I hope your concept about the data center or the Consul cluster or the Consul server and the Consul agent is clear now. If it is not much clear, just watch my next slide and it will be much more clear. So now we have completely understood about the Consul agent. Now let's move towards, and we will see here some server responsibilities like the Consul server responsibilities. So basically, the Consul Server is responsible to keep track of all available services with their IP address and their current health and status. It means that whatever this microservices is running through the control plane, the Consul Server keeps the record of all those upstream services with IP address and also checking that which services is up or which are downs, and that's what we are referring as a health and status, right? Keep track of all available nodes. So let's suppose that there are 4 or 3 particular nodes participating and forming a Consul cluster, right? It keeps the track of all available nodes, their IP address and their current health status. So it is keeping track of all the available nodes as well as which nodes is up and which nodes is down. It is also keeping a track of that also. Okay. Now build a service catalog DNS that is aware of the service and nodes availability. Okay. So it is basically forming a DNS, domain name system, that keeps the track and the services availability. Okay. Maintain and update the KV store. Guys, when I say KV store, sorry, it is a KV store, that is key value based. Okay. So Consul keeps the data in forms of key and value, and that's how that it stores all the configurations value of multiple microservices into the form of key and value. Okay. Now communicates updates to all agents. It means that the Consul Server is continuously talking with the Consul Agent, okay, and Consul Agent is continuously checking the updates which is being updated inside the control plane registry. Okay, so it is taking the current status from the control plane registry, that which services is up or which is down, and it takes the particular information, it passes to Proxy, and Proxy finally pass to the applications. Okay, how these communications happens, just we are going to see in my next slide. So your concept about the Consul architecture will be completely crystal and clear. Okay, so now let's move to the next slide. Now I am keeping everything on one table, and now let's see that after explaining all these parts of the Consul, how the architecture is formed. And now I am moving to this slide. Now you will completely understand that why I have explained before representing this, why I explained all the parameters before it. Okay, so now on my screen you can see that this is the architectures, and now I am going to explain it. Now after my explanations, your concept will be pretty much clear. Okay, so now this is the part I'm hovering my mouse here, right? So this is the part of the Consul Server where it is under the cluster, and you can see that there are 3 nodes as of now participating, right? Now this is the nodes, or you can say that the Consul agents, okay, where the Consul client is updated, right, and the applications is running. And as I explained under the Consul client sections, the Consul client is installed on the node where the applications is running, right? Or the applications we want to monitor through the Consul, we will install over there the Consul client. Now how it works, I am going to explain you. So let's suppose these are the applications. Now applications, someone is querying to this application, say I want particular this services. Okay, so this application sends request to this proxy. Now the application send request through on the local host. Okay, so here one of the things that guys I would like to highlight, the application doesn't query through the API. So generally in normal cases applications communicates through the API, but here in Consul it communicates through the local host. It means 127.0.0.1. okay, then this proxy opens the port for these applications, open the local host port for these applications. Then this proxy checks the particular, then it sends the request which comes from the application. Then this proxy sends that request to different microservices. So let's suppose that this application requires to cart one of the product, right? Let's suppose that the services is called add to cart, right? It is an e-commerce website, and product then user is requesting to one of the product, and this application is particularly sending request to the add to cart. So this proxy will send request to add to cart microservices. Okay, and simultaneously this Consul client in checking the services in the control plane registry, right, that the add to cart services is up or down. It takes, this Consul client takes the update from the control plane registry and it pass the informations to Proxy. Hey, it is this service is available, and you can simply forward the request to particular services add to cart. Now this Proxy then it sends the request after getting the informations from the Consul client. This Proxy same updates the product status to applications. Hey, this product is available, and that's how the product is getting booked, or it is being mentioned into the add to cart. So this is how the overall the Consul works, and how the Proxy, the Consul clients and the applications communicate to each other. So guys, this is all about the Consul, the overview architectures, where we have understand about the control plane, data plane, the plane of the networking, control plane and data plane. Then we have gone through the service mesh, which is a separate topic, but we have understood it, because in order to understand the Consul, we must have a complete understanding about the service mesh. Then after that, we have understood the Consul. Then we have gone through how the Consul Server works and what is its architecture, how Consul Agent is different from the Consul Server, and then finally we have understood the complete overview of Consuls, where we have seen that how the Consul Server, client, Proxy and applications talk to each other, and this entire process takes place. Okay guys, so that's all for this lecture guys. In my upcoming sessions, episode number 02, I am going to cover completely the practical sessions where we are going to see that how we can install and configure Consul. So it will be the first practical sessions of the Consul series. And so far now I was covering the theoretical part, because I believe that once the basic concept will be clear, then the next lesson you can easily understand it. Once your root is strong, your branches and leaves will be automatically stronger, right? So I hope your concept is quite clear now about the Consul, and if still you have any doubt, you can write me in the comment sections. I will answer it there. And guys, one more request, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. Simultaneously share my channel with your friends and the colleague as well. So thank you so much for watching this. I will see you in my next episode. Till the time, enjoy with your families. Have a good day.